So now we have this in context part, which is completely dependent on top panel. And if you change anything in the top panel, including these holes and the hole in the center, then it will affect the bottom panel directly. But what if you don't want to change the bottom panel? Well, in that case, you can lock the references. So let's first talk about the external references. Well, if you look at this bottom panel, you'll notice that we have this dash and arrow sign right here. We don't have that here. That's because this dash and arrow sign indicates that we have a linked external reference with this bottom panel. If you expand it, you'll see the same set of icons here in the Boss Extrude feature, Cut Extrude, and this Boss Extrude 2 feature as well. Well, this indicates that these features are linked to an external file as an XREF or external reference. Now, if you want to check the external reference, you can select the top level part here, right click, and go to external references. Now this will list all the external references. So we have a sketch 1 here, then we have a sketch 3 here, and then finally sketch 4. So these are the 3 sketches which are linked. Now if I select sketch 1, it will highlight it here in the model. And not only that, you can see that it is in context with edge of top panel. So this is the one with which it is linked. So sketch 1 is linked with the edge of top panel, and this is the top panel. Similarly, if you select any other sketch, for example, sketch 3, it will show the linked component, and here also it will show the linked component. Now, if you don't want the changes to affect the bottom panel, then all you got to do is just lock it. So maybe I'll select sketch 1 and I'll select lock selected. Now you can also break it. And if you break it, it will do this thing permanently, and any changes made on the top panel will not affect this feature, the Boss Extrude feature sketch. So we don't want to do that. We simply want to lock it, and locking is a temporary thing. Breaking it is a permanent one. So I'll just lock it. Click OK and close it. Now we have this asterisk sign, which indicates that this is no longer updating with reference to its original component. So if I now go to this one, and Boss Extrude feature sketch and edit this here, I'll change this dimension from 100 to maybe 80. Now this won't affect this panel, the bottom one. So I'll exit out of this sketch, and I'll also exit out of this feature. And now here we are. So as you can see, the top panel has changed without affecting the bottom one. And that's because it is locked. Now, if you want to unlock it, all you've got to do is just go to the top feature, right click, and go to external reference, or you can directly go to the feature and right click and select external reference. Select it and click unlock selected. And that's going to unlock it, and immediately you'll see the result. It will automatically update as per the changes. So that's how these linked external references work. Now this may be a good thing and even a bad thing. Now definitely it is good if you want to use it in an assembly like this one, but what if we want to use this bottom part in a different assembly? In that case, we would definitely want to break the link, because changing the top panel will affect the bottom one. So in that case, you need to save it as a completely separate file, and let's see how that works. So I'll just select this bottom panel and I'll click on open part. Now this will open it as a completely new part. And as you can see here also, we have all the 3 externally linked. So we have the XREF icon, which means if I make any change here, it will affect the assembly. If I make changes in the assembly, it will affect this part. But now I'll go to File and select Save as New. Here we have 3 options: Save as Copy and Continue, Save as Copy and Open. Select any of these 2 options: Save as Copy and Continue, Save as Copy and Open. Maybe I'll select Save as Copy and Continue, and just give it a new name. So I'll go to Save to this PC, and I'll call it Unlinked. So bottom panel dash unlinked. All right, and save it. So now we have this new component, bottom panel dash unlinked, saved, which is exact copy of this, but it is completely unlinked, which means if I make any changes in that component, it won't affect it. So let's just open this newly created component. So I'll go to File and Open, and I'll select bottom panel unlinked, the one which we created just now, and I'll click on Open. Now they may look exactly the same, but there is a difference. In this case, right next to external reference icon, we have this question mark, which indicates that SolidWorks is not able to find the actual file with which this is linked. So it's unable to find that reference. All right, so now let's go to the main assembly. And here we'll make changes in the top panel. So I'll expand it and I'll go to this feature sketch 1 and I'll edit this feature. Now, as you can see in this feature, we have this length as 80. I'll just make it 160, something really big. All right, exit out of this sketch and maybe exit out of this feature as well here. And it is updating it right inside this assembly as predicted. It will definitely update it. I'll save this thing completely. All right, it is saved. Now, if I go to the bottom panel, well, the bottom panel will update. As you can see, it is now big. And if you evaluate this width, well, that's going to be 160 mm. But if I go to that unlinked part, it's still the original one, no change whatsoever. So if you want to measure it, well, here it is. So this is still 80 mm. So no changes will show up here. So that's how you can save it as a new component. And now if you use this feature in any other assembly, it won't be affected by changes in the main assembly. So in this way, you can create in context top-down assemblies, and also you can save the components thus created as a standalone file.